you fuckers. Don't forget to check out Don't Blame Them on Wednesday on Patreon, as well as our Cut for Time clip on Friday on Patreon as well. Because of old taboos, the actual touch techniques that are sexually pleasurable for women never got scientific research funding. OMGYes decided to change all of that. They asked tens of thousands of women, ages 18 to 95, how they make sex more pleasurable, and turned that wisdom into fun, honest videos. Explore for yourself at omgyes.com and get more understanding, more pleasure, and tools for even happier relationships. Get a $10 discount by going to omgyes.com/blame. That's omgyes.com/blame. Woo woo. Hello everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Meghan. You can't tell because I'm sick.
Yeah, if you're just listening and you can't see, Meghan's voice is deep and sensual.
Honestly, though, it's good that we're doing it this day because earlier this week, Aislinn told me I sounded like I had been a smoker for about 150 years. And
like one of those women on the commercial that has to use the little...
those little talking things.
Yeah.
And it was like every other word, you'd miss a sound. Like it would like, you know when you laugh so hard, like it's silent and you like, it was like that. It'd be like... So yeah, guys, I'm sick, but the show must go on.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the podcast. This is Don't Blame Me. We have a repeat guest, and also the last time that you were here I cried, so I'm so glad that that's not gonna happen today. It's Shereen, guys.
Hi, it's me.
Woo woo.
I'm Shereen.
Technically you're not, I mean technically you are a repeat guest, but also like I think you've probably been here the most.
As I said when I was here last time,
Oh God,
dreams
here
can
we go.
come true. No, yeah, I used to operate the cam, and from behind the scenes to in front of the scenes, dreams are so achievable. I've never the experience.
Okay, done with that bullshit.
Okay,
last time you were here, you had some homework to do.
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
did you
shit.
do any of it?
I've done more than I did before.
Okay.
Yeah, I've tried a lot.
Okay. You don't look happy though.
Personal a lot. What do you mean personal?
Have you tried a lot personally, or have you tried a lot like?
I mean, more personal than other.
Great.
Wise.
Okay. That's always better anyway.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. That was.
Have you?
Oh, I've gotten a dating app for the first time last month,
Oh my god.
and I don't think it's for me, but I'm gonna keep like having fun.
Have
I
you-
mean,
have
my
you gone on
problem-
dates?
Yeah, but my
good.
problem is when I match with someone, I'm not like I'm not like. Now I'm going to meet them. I'm just like, oh, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. But I did go on a really nice date with a girl that made me feel better because the dates I went on with men were like, oh, I feel nothing for you. Like maybe I'm not even attracted to men anymore. And then, but I think it's just like, I don't know.
Men on dating apps suck.
But it's been fun to just like get out of my comfort zone. And like, as far as my homework goes,
Have you seen lights?
No.
Have you seen lights?
She hasn't had an orgasm before.
I've tried and it's better than before. I just think sometimes I think my personal life gets in the way of me letting go. Like I get too I'm just like not I don't know. I don't know if that even matters. Maybe I'm just getting in my head. I'm just always in my head.
Do you smoke weed?
I need to smoke more.
Yeah, you need to smoke more. I was like, that's like the absolute key to getting out of your head as somebody who's like constantly in their head.
I think just personally, like my work comes first, and I don't like that. Like I'd love to advance in my romantic life in any way, but I think I just come second to me, which is like fine.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that was me for a really really long time.
She comes second.
Oh yeah, that's you write the
I
sequel.
come never.
You write, she comes never. She doesn't come.
Yeah. I'm back and I still haven't come. So let's start the podcast.
She's come back, but she has not come.
Thank you for the title of this episode.
Hell yes. Cool. Okay, so well guys, this is an advice podcast. On the way here, I'm like so drugged out on cold medicine. I was trying for the life of me to remember the fucking phone number. I don't know if I know it anymore.
Okay, let's go for it.
310-694 0976.
Correct.
Holy shit.
That was amazing.
I was stressing in the car. I was like, my God, am I so sick that I don't remember the number?
You know it.
And international listeners, you can leave us an audio message at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. I don't even know if I told you what to do. It's that phone number. You call, you leave us a voicemail, you tell us what's happening in your life, and then we give you some hopefully good advice.
And keep it completely anonymous, please.
Please.
Yeah.
Even if you want to claim credit. Me as a Leo, I love claiming credit. Not for me. This wouldn't be.
Unless you're a callback, of course.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the only time.
But yeah, don't name yourself. Don't name other people. Don't give us any way that like makes it really easy to like just know all the situation. Because then we can't answer it. Because not everyone consents to be on the podcast or the people in your stories. Okay. Well, should we begin?
Hey, Megan, Melissa, and friends. So I'm 20 years old and I'm in college. So I made this friend. We've had a couple classes together or whatever. We've always like talked, but nothing ever like came of it in terms of like being friends. And so he and I, he's also 20, became really close because our schedules just like lined up really well, whatever. And we just like kept having to like these really long, like 2-3 hour conversations, and we started hanging out more and more. My dad was in the hospital. He was there for me for a lot of it. And so we hang out every other day, pretty much. He spends the night all the time. I live with my dad at the moment, but my dad isn't here. So we sleep in the same bed and everything. And I watched him go through a breakup. He watched me go through a breakup. So we're both single. And it's quite confusing because, like, I have feelings for him. It's the classic case of, like, I'm in love with my best friend. It's one of those, like, I could see me and him getting married and having kids, and, like, I'm not that kind of person. And so it's crazy to find someone that I just connect with morally and personally. And so, yeah, and like we like cuddle and we talk and like everything else, but like, you know, we're both like single and like dating around, and we have this marriage pact that like if we're both 28 and not in committed relationships and not gonna get married and anything like that, that we would just marry each other kind of thing, and we'd figure everything out that later. And he is just the best person I think I've ever met in my life. He's wonderful, kind. He's the best kind of asshole, if that makes sense. And so I'm at a point where I'm dating all these people and they're not really going anywhere because I don't think I really want them to go anywhere. And I'm pretty like Meghan, where I can sit and analyze the situation and know what's wrong. But I kind of just need the validation of like, do I take that leap with him, or should I just save face with a friendship and just keep staying friends and just see where life takes us? I would love any feedback or validation.
I would love validation needs to be on my gravestone.
Yeah.
That is like my number one line of being like, I would just like some validation.
I feel like that's why I would be a good like parking attendant. Be like, do you need validation?
Wait, literally, I went to the Container store and like I used to go all the fucking time, and there was this guy who worked there, and every time I'm like, can I get validated? He goes, you look great today, Meg.
Oh my
and I'm
God.
like,
where is he now?
I don't know,
Where
but
has
he
been
was
all my
fucking
life?
fantastic. I mean, I think you're like living a romantic comedy right now.
Yeah. I mean, my first train of thought is just to tell him.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a little strange that you guys are dating other people and like cuddling, if that's like happening, or like if you guys were sleeping in the same bed as you were going through a breakup or whatever. Like I think there's already been like some closeness established that like maybe is more than friendship.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wouldn't be like out of left field if you were like, I like you in not a friendship way. If you guys have a marriage pact at like 28, I'm so old.
Dude, I know that made me be like, oh shit.
Yeah. But yeah, just tell him.
Yeah, I think like I understand that whole fear of being like, oh, he's my best friend, I don't want to ruin anything. But like you guys already have. Like exactly like you said, like you've already crossed that line. Like, sure, you might not have seen each other like naked, but like you've already crossed into like romantic feeling territory. And like you're right. And the reason why that things aren't panning out with other people is because like you are invested in him and you do really like him. And I think like there's probably a part of you that is like afraid that he doesn't have those same feelings towards you. But at the end of the day, your feelings aren't conditional to him having feelings for you. You already have feelings for him. So like you can't avoid that.
Yeah.
And so I think you should just tell him, because you don't know if you don't know. And no matter what, like the longer you wait, the answer is not going to be like any different. I think you just like, you need to know and find out to figure out like, okay, is this something that we pursue, or is this something that I can then move on from? Because I don't think it's possible to move on from something like that without saying it, because it's going to be in the back of your head of being like, well, maybe one day.
What if?
What if?
I also think it's the way she talks about him is a little dangerous, only because she's idolizing him so much and putting him on this pedestal where it's like there's no way he can come down even if he rejects her.
Yeah.
You know, and that's dangerous because she'll still have all these feelings for him. Not saying that he will or won't, but you will never find out if you don't even like admit your feelings. And I think if he does not feel the same way, ultimately, like, you need distance from that friendship because it's going to be painful. And if he does feel the same way, fucking great, and date each other. But
yeah, I think you just have to bite the bullet and like be prepared for either way, and exactly like not putting him on a pedestal. And I think it can be so hard when it's like someone that you're friends with, because like you care so deeply about your friends, and like you date. I mean, you don't date your friends. I mean, sometimes you can date your friends, but like you're friends with the people you're friends with because like you think they're fucking awesome, and like that they're so amazing and so great. And he was also there for you in a bunch of like through your breakup, like through your dad being in the hospital, and like all of these tough times. He's been able to like shine and really step up to the plate and be awesome. But I think you also need to remember that like you're also awesome, and like as cool and as great as he is, and like the best guy that you've ever known, no relationship is perfect either. So like I think it can also be hard as like a friendship when you're like, friendships are a lot easier, I think, most of the time than relationships. And so it can be kind of hard to be like, oh, do I want to risk this friendship for a relationship, and then wanting that relationship to just be just as easy and as perfect as your guys' friendship. But when there's a relationship, there's a lot more factors that come in. So I think like being honest with yourself about your feelings, and then being honest with him, and then I don't want to say like take the romanticizing idea out of it, but like the whole like, oh, marriage pact and all of these different things, like it is making this not even like I don't want to say like intentionally on either of your ends, but like it is making it to be like this big buildup of a thing. And like you don't have to wait until that. Like you don't have to wait to be like that. Like you can be like, oh no, I like you now, you like me now, like let's actually date. And like
I don't want to be just like a backup plan.
Exactly.
You know?
I would be like, hey, so we're like basically engaged since we're getting married in 8 years. So why don't we just start dating?
Yeah. That's a good timeline, right?
Yeah. Definitely honesty first, and then communication. And maybe he wants to be with you too, or whatever. You just never know unless you don't talk about it. So talk about it. And then let us know what happens. Be blunt. I'm all about being blunt. So that's just the way it goes.
Yeah. It's so much easier.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it goes well. Let us know how it goes. Give us a call back.
Yeah.
On to the next.
Hi, Megan and guest. I am 23 years old, and I'm about to graduate with 2 bachelor's degrees. I'm going to preface this by saying that I am a major Pisces, and so I tend to be very emotionally reactive, and I get attached to people really easily. I actually just got out of an abusive relationship last fall and finally felt ready to start dating again, or at least just meeting people. And so I got on Tinder, and everyone was kind of boring. They're not my type. But then I met someone who I had this insane connection with, and we connected on everything, and he was physically attractive to me, and it just seemed perfect. And so we finally hung out, and we ended up hooking up. And he, that whole night, was telling me that I was his dream girl and was building me up even after math. And like he would text me after, like that same night when I had gone home, and told me like the same thing. And so I was under the impression that we felt the same way. But then the next day he was incredibly distant. And for the past few weeks, he's been the same way. He's like, I want to be your friend, but like I'm not ready to commit to someone, which was a little painful to hear. But I was like, you know what? We connect really well. I'll be your friend. But today I ended up saying, you know what? Like, I can't do this. Like, I can't be your friend. It's too hard on me. Deleted him off Snapchat. And now I feel very remorseful and sad because I felt like this connection could have gone somewhere. And I need advice on where to go from here. how to, I guess, heal from this, because we had been talking for a while, and I thought that we were on the same page with things, and I don't really know how to heal. I haven't been in the dating scene for a while, and I don't know. Boys just suck, apparently. But I mean, sorry to any boys out there who don't suck, but thank you. Any advice is appreciated.
I feel like she just met her first fuckboy.
I think she did.
Yeah.
There's something so incredibly frustrating when you have a connection with someone, because like, especially when it comes to like online dating, and even you were saying before we started recording, like when you meet, like you meet a bunch of people and you're like, oh, I just fucking hate all of you, and I hate all of you, and I hate all of you. And then there's like the one that you're into and the one that you're attracted to. It just automatically becomes like so much heavier, like so much more of a weight. Like there's so much more, like the stakes are so much higher with that person. And so it feels like you've sifted through everything and like found the diamond. And then when that also doesn't work, it can be incredibly frustrating, because that's just, I think, the nature of dating apps is like, it's, you're either not into anyone at all. Like there's not a ton of people that you're lukewarm on. Like, and then like once you find a connection that you really like someone, it can be hard to let that go.
Like
when
your
it doesn't
hopes
work.
get so high, then they get so low so quickly.
Yeah.
You know? And I think dating apps are hard for me in particular, because there's like a premise of like, we're going to meet and either like there's going to be chemistry and I want to fuck you or not. And I think that's why I always prefer like meeting someone through work or like on set or something, which is like not like always kosher or whatever. But I think that dating apps set you up for this idea, like is there a future? And that's like, so it's like almost scary sometimes, because people just go in with so like different intentions.
And it's like you have to know immediately.
Yeah.
Whereas like for me, like I'm a slow burn. Like I will either be immediately attracted to somebody and then not into them like a month later, or it's like I build up like a friendship and then an attraction and all of that.
I'm the same. Yeah.
And I think that can be really hard with dating apps. So when you have an instant connection, and I would just say in general, I think the people that you have an instant connection with, I tend to think that kind of is lust. And like that is like, especially when it comes to apps, like it's a lot based on attractiveness and like not even necessarily like their looks, but like someone who you're just attracted to personality wise and all of that stuff.
The kind of pictures they post or what they like, little quip on their bio or whatever.
And then when like you meet them in person, they live up to that idea that you had of them. Like it can just be like, oh my God, it's all falling into place and this is perfect. And I think and like, this is great.
Yeah. But I also think he told her what she wanted to hear, which is like the definition of someone that's just not good. Like you felt a connection, and know what, you're never going to be someone's dream girl on the first night. Like if you hear that, it's just someone getting in your head. Yeah.
Run away from that. Also because like, I think like if you earn it, if like I like went on a date with this one guy when I was in college, and like it was like he was like just spewing out Nicholas Sparks stuff, and I was just like, okay, there's only two options. You say this to every girl, or you're just saying this to me, and you shouldn't have those feelings about me this quickly. And this is creepy. And like in the moment, there are certain things we can feel like, oh my God, we're totally vibing and on the same page, but like that's not how feelings really work. And so anyone who's going to vocalize that, like it's like a guy who makes you a playlist, he's probably making every other fucking girl a playlist.
Exactly.
Like I think like there needs to be a level of like, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And like anybody else that you like have feelings for and anything like that, I think the relationships, like obviously there are people who are like, oh, it was love at first sight, but like I think a lot of the time like it is a slow burn, and that can be hard to find like through dating apps. But I think you also, because I've had friends who've been in the situation where they've gone on shit dating app dates, and then they had one that was great, and it was just like the guy ended up being like, oh, you know what, like I'm actually just like really busy with work and I'm not really looking for anything serious, and then it doesn't really pan out. So I think it's a game of numbers. You need to go out again and again and again until you meet someone else you also have a connection like this for, so you don't make him so special, because he's not so special. Like you are the special one. Like this is all, like this is half of this was you. It was like you found someone who you also vibed with, but also like, not to say that your standards or your expectations are low, but on dating apps they kind of are, because a lot of people like really suck. So when someone doesn't suck, it's like, oh, you're amazing. Like this is perfect. So I think the more that you can just go out and the more that you can like focus on like multiple people, which I know as a Pisces, it can be hard. Like you can have like tunnel vision on one person.
No, I understand completely. I understand being easily attached or focusing so much on one person. I completely understand that, but I'm trying to lessen to be more aware of that, you know. And it's hard because sometimes it's just like I don't know. It's hard to let go of that because you're so convinced that that's right for you, but really you don't want to be with someone that doesn't want to be with you.
Yeah, I think that's like point blank. It's that easy. And also, if you were his dream girl and if he and you had this undeniable connection, you'd be on the same page. You don't have an undeniable connection with somebody because a connection requires two people. You can't have that connection with somebody who's not giving that back to you. And he's told you that. And I think like my best advice to like get over this, quote unquote, or whatever, is to get more experience and go out on more dates with more people. And I think like it can be hard in like the dating app pool and that whole scene. But I mean, even ask your friends to set you up with people, like try and just meet as many people as you can and realize that like, oh, like I'm cool, I'm awesome, I get along with people, and like I will have great connections with like lots of different people. And it's not about that, it's also about like who's on the same page as I am, who wants the same things that I want. And then like from there realize that he's just not that important.
Also, I'm really proud of her, and if you're listening, I'm proud of you for like, after getting out of a shitty relationship that was abusive, like to go out and try your best. And if anything, this was just a good date. Just think of it as like a good date. You had good sex or whatever it was, and it's not all is lost, you know. Like, and it's not going to be smooth sailing in the date. Like, no one has a great time dating, but I'm proud of her for just putting herself out there, because I'm sure she went through a shitty time before. And I think that maybe also skewed your perception of what's good for you, or like what's a normal way to attach. I'm not trying to, maybe I'm like, what's it called? Projecting. But sometimes I think it just takes a little bit to, I don't know. I'm proud of her though. And it just takes time.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it takes time and it takes practice with different people before you also start. I have this phrase that I say to my friends all the time when they go on dates. I'm like, did you have fun because you were there or because they were there? And they're like, oh, maybe just because I was there. And sometimes like that. When you get along with people and you tend to be like a personable person, it's really easy to have conversations with people. And it took them a really long time. I have two specific friends in general. And it's taken them a really long time to be like, oh, now I have to discern, like, did I have a good time because like they're not the worst and they don't totally suck and like bring the mood down? Or did I have a good time because they brought something to the table? Like, which one was it?
I'm gonna remember that. I like that a lot.
It's hard because I think it's true, because especially when like women in general like tend to not want to make people feel uncomfortable, and like you go out of your way to like make sure everyone's having a good time. And so then when somebody like just bare minimum meets you there, you're like, oh my god, this is great, this is awesome, like
makes you laugh twice or something.
Like I can make anything out of this. And then it's just like, oh wait, wow, you didn't wow me, like I made do with what I had.
Wow.
But
dude, I made do with what I had.
Me just summing up men as a whole. I made do with what I had. But I agree.
Just
I'm also
keep
proud
putting
of her.
yourself out there and just take it as a good, not like the best experience, but like you did good. Like you put yourself out there, you had a fun time, and that's all it's going to be, because he's not worth any energy, because he doesn't want to give it to you.
It's still a win.
Yeah.
But it's continue to not be friends with this guy and not talk to him. Yeah, fuck this guy.
Block him.
Yeah, 100% block him. Yeah. He's not that cool.
Yeah.
On to the next.
Hi, Megan. I'm about 21. I'll be 21 in a few months. And I've got a kind of unique situation. I got married last year. Marriage is fine. He's amazing. I love him to death. But we are currently living with his mom. He was going in the military. We were planning on leaving in a few months. It was better for us to stay there. So I wasn't alone while he was gone and all of that. He got injured, got sent home end of last year. And now we are on our own. The military has basically said, screw off, we don't care. Which is fine. We're figuring it out. The big problem is his mom. She is a terrible person. And I hate saying that. And he knows how I feel. And in fact, he feels the same. He's already said he wants to cut her off the second we are gone. But she's the kind of person, she has had debt collectors call her and she said, oh, wrong number, and given them his number. And didn't say anything, didn't care. She has also sat here and paid rent late multiple months in a row and complained that we didn't just pay it for her. Same with utilities. And she has continually done these things. She gets pissed off if we don't tell her exactly where we're going whenever she wants to know. Yet if we go, hey, we need to sit down and like all have a talk, make sure we're all on the same page. You know, where are you going to be on what nights? Like, how can we make this work? She's like, well, where I am doesn't matter. Like, I'm an adult. I can do what I want. You know, I'm the parent here. And she treats us like children, and like we don't have our own rights. And she sat here and basically expected me to do all of the housework, to clean everything, to take care of everything, while also working 2 jobs. And she has lied to us. She has manipulated us. I'm pretty sure she's stolen from us a few times. This past month, she got pissed off because we gave her a money order to pay our portion of the rent rather than just giving her cash, which we know she's almost made off with our cash at least once before. We thankfully went to the office and double-checked rent was paid and called her out on it. But I don't know how to handle this anymore. I don't know how to deal with her, and I could really use any advice on how to get through the last bit of time I have to deal with her.
Good fucking God.
That's fucking a nightmare.
This woman. Wow.
Wait, why are they not able to move out? I got a little confused about that.
I think it's probably just like savings until they can move.
Okay.
I mean,
at first it was because they thought he was going to be like off at the military and they're going to stay with him. But now I don't know.
I mean,
why.
like, get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's a shitty apartment, just get the fuck out.
Yeah. I think that that's what they're doing. And I think they just have like a little bit of time before maybe it's like they are on the lease with her and like they're waiting for any of that. I mean, I think like as much as like it totally sucks for you, this also really, and I'm sure you know this, like really fucking sucks for your husband. Like that really sucks because that's his mom. Mm-hmm. And they're like there are just like things like my therapist always calls them like they're like you just, I mean, you do what you have to do to survive, and you have like survival tendencies and like habits and things like that. So like the way that you behave around someone who's incredibly toxic just to get through it, and like that's what you guys just need to do, and I'm sure what you're doing now. And I think like as much as it like sucks emotionally to be like really draining, because like she also sounds like pretty toxic, like not like irresponsible, and like
she sounds toxic.
She sounds super toxic, which is like incredibly like draining and painful to deal with all the time. But I think like it's limiting that like attack that she can have on you, whether it's like, oh, instead of giving her the money for the rent every month, like you're just going to give it to the office every month, and then like you're not around all the time, like you're not going to, like if she asks you where you guys are going, like
say we're going to fuck in the car.
Can you imagine? I love that. But yeah, like I think like there, unless that she has something over you guys, because I will say like the difference is, and we've said this before when people have like moved back in with parents and stuff like that, like at the end of the day, like if you're not paying rent, like you guys are paying rent, so like there isn't really, she doesn't have like a leg to stand on. Like maybe she did help you guys out, and like if this was her place beforehand, like if she helped you out when you were in a tough spot, and so she feels like she's owed a lot. But at the end of the day, like you guys are paying to be there, you're paying for all of that stuff, and you don't owe her anything. And so I think it's like whatever you can do to make it bearable, and if that means like it sucks to like, I don't want to say like don't maybe just like stop trying to make it anything more than it is. And like she's a shitty roommate, and if it was any other roommate, like you would just go above them to pay your rent to make sure that it gets paid, and like you would ignore them and like not try and, I don't know, salvage and make the relationship work. But I think you and your boyfriend just need to be on the same page. And I would also husband, true. Oh my God, you're so young. I keep like assuming it's a boyfriend, but you and your husband need to stay on the, like just be on the same page, and then also take cues from him, because I'm sure like for him it's like probably really painful. I don't know if he like knew how toxic his mom was until the situation, but
yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said. I do think that regardless of how toxic someone is, as a parent, you will always be children, and especially if you're living like, even if it's not her roof, if you're living in the same place, like she's always going to treat you like a child. So putting distance between you, I think you're completely right. Like going to the office yourself, paying rent yourself, don't like not giving her any more power than she, like not treating her as a parent. Like if you give her the rent, you're almost treating her like a parent. Like if it's just treat her more like a roommate that you have to just avoid until you have to leave. And I mean, like, you're not always friends with your family. You're not always on good terms with your family. Not everyone in your family is a good person. So I think it's sad when it's your husband's mom and your mother-in-law. But like, but yeah, just keep your distance and just like be civil until you can get the fuck out.
Yeah, and rely on your, like, you and your husband lean on each other, because that's the other thing with like the difference between family and roommates is like family knows how to fucking hurt you and they know how to say it and all of those things. And I think like it can be hard because maybe she's having like a good day and is like really sweet and really nice and then fucks you over and it hurts twice as much. So I think keep an open line of conversation with like you and your husband about everything and like just, stay on the same page so you guys can really lean on each other in those moments. And then I think like the best thing that you can do, and hopefully maybe like somewhere down the road, like she figures out her shit and she isn't this toxic of a person. I think the only way to get to that place, hopefully, is to like preserve that potential relationship by keeping your distance now.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That's the smartest thing to do, even with him. Like even though it's his mom, it's like when someone is in a really toxic state, you can't talk to them. Like you can't bring them out of that. Like it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. There's a certain point where like not everything's worth a fight, even if someone is like totally wrong, and like let them be wrong and go do your own fucking thing.
You have to check out just to save your sanity.
Exactly.
Just for your own mental health and your mental well-being. But I do think like as far as what you could do is just like save up as much as you can. Maybe you and your husband can make up like a certain goal, like we're going to move out by this date with this amount of money. We're going to keep saving. And if she steals money from you, if that's what you think she's doing or has done in the past, just like be very wary of where you put your things and just do everything you can to get out, like whether it's like selling old things or whatever. I think the priority is to make the distance better, even like to preserve the relationship. I do think you need to get out of there.
Yeah. I think she's stealing the money by they give her the money for bills and then she takes the money instead of paying the bills.
Yeah.
So if you guys can just pay the bills directly instead of paying your half directly.
Yeah. Because I mean it is tricky.
You said you went to like the leasing office or whatever to make sure that like the rent had been paid or whatever. I would also like not necessarily like loop them in on everything, but just be like, hey, if anything comes up, if there's an issue with anything, like please call us and
have
let
a direct
us know.
line of communication yourself, not just through her.
You guys will get through it. You'll move out. It'll be fine.
Stick together. I mean, you guys have each other. Sucks that she's his mom, but I mean,
some people are just toxic and it sucks, but like that's just like who they are. Okay, guys, it's time for a quick break and we'll be right back. If there's something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals, BetterHelp Online Counseling can help. BetterHelp offers licensed professional counselors who are specialized in issues such as depression, anxiety, relationships, trauma, anger, family conflicts, LGBT matters, grief, self-esteem, and more. Connect with your professional counselor in a safe and private online environment. And get help at your own time and at your own pace. Anything you share is confidential. And it's so convenient. You can schedule secure video or phone sessions as well as chat and text with your therapist. If for some reason you're not happy with your counselor, though, you can request a new one at any time for no additional charge. Best of all, it's a truly affordable option. Don't blame me with Meghan Rienks listeners. Even get 10% off your first month with the discount code BLAME. So why not get started today? Go to betterhelp.com/blame. Then simply fill out a questionnaire to help them assess your needs and get matched with a counselor you'll love. That's betterhelp.com/blame. When it comes to vibrators, there's no one size fits all. We all have different bodies. That's why SKYN Condoms has a new line of intimate devices. These vibrators are amazing. There's the Thrill, which is more of a discreet bullet equipped with 3 different speeds. And the Shiver, which is a waterproof massager with 7 different speeds. The Shiver also has a ribbed texture for multiple sensations. Ladies, you need to try these. And if you're a dude, go buy one for your girl. It's for enhancement, not replacement. Every bedroom should at least have one sex toy. So save intimacy and feel everything with SKYN. You can order SKYN devices right from Amazon. Just search SKYN, that's SKYN, to explore their entire line of intimate products. And if you shop on July 15th, you'll get a special discount exclusively for Prime Day. Hell yeah. OMGYes is a website devoted to women's sexual pleasure. In partnership with Indiana University and the Kinsey Institute researchers, they interviewed and surveyed tens of thousands of women about what gives them the most pleasure, physical techniques, psychological techniques, and ways of guiding partners. The study's insights are brought to life in refreshingly honest videos of women sharing their own experiences. One finding is how easy it is for not to prioritize our pleasure with partners, but also inside ourselves. So here's some fun stats, or I guess, sexy stats. These are some sex stats.
Bow chicka wow wow.
Bow chicka wow wow. Researchers gave 1,000 women OMGYes and then studied how it affected them. And they found that 95% experienced pleasure in a way that felt new to them physically. And 96% realized that there's actually more room for their sexual pleasure to grow. Melissa and I just watched them together.
Yeah, we watched a couple videos.
We did. I watched it and immediately said, I feel kind of vanilla. I feel like there are so many things here, so many terms I didn't even know.
Yeah, we watched one on broadening,
which to me just sounded like crowning.
I didn't know what that was either. Yeah. But then when they were explaining it,
we both were like,
oh yeah, this
makes sense. We have those things.
Mm-hmm. But this one woman talked about doing it on her man's booty. I thought that was interesting. Cheek to cheek. Well, it was.
No, she started on one cheek. And then she slid over.
I thought you meant
to
their
the other
cheeks
cheek.
were together.
No,
got it.
Yeah, I got a lot from just booty bouncing on booty bouncing. But it's interesting. I think I will say, I definitely got giggly in a young person sense because I'm not used to we talk about sex. Mm-hmm. I talk about sex with my friends openly, or so I thought.
Yeah. This is I don't think we go into detail about what we like. We just talk in a general
this is anatomy sense. And this is it totally makes sense to me. That this is research driven and this is somewhat of an instructional video.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's personal testimonials and then you scroll down and it's okay, how to do this.
Yeah, they've got diagrams. Yeah. They show you highlight which parts of your body are getting stimulated by what part you're touching.
And there's the science all behind it and it's incredibly interesting. A lot of it also is a lot of women talking about being with partners, but also masturbating and doing this solo. So it's not just for people who are bored with their sex lives. I mean, I'm not bored with my sex life. And
no, I think there's a lot of things we could learn from this.
There are so shallowing, staying in, flexing, angling, renewing, and coming soon, booty.
Oh yeah.
Booty. So explore ways to make great things even better at OMGYes.com and get a $10 discount at OMGYes.com/blame. That's OMGYes.com/blame. We're back from our break, guys. God, my voice sounds so fucking weird.
It sounds great.
It sounds so weird.
I love it.
Poor podcasters. They're like, what the fuck? Who is this girl? Okay, let's get back into the calls.
I am 21. I'm in college, and I've kind of had a rough year so far. Kind of hit a rock bottom with my mental health. Sought out help. I'm getting better. Yeah, that's just kind of the background on me. Well, there's a guy that I talked to probably a little over a year ago, and it was kind of not good timing for us because I had just gotten out of a very serious relationship, and I tried to commit, but it just didn't work out, and he was just being a total asshole. Just trust me on this one. He was. But basically, we kind of ended on a bad note. Nothing too serious, just not getting along, not seeing eye to eye. So then a few days ago, earlier this week, he texted me kind of out of nowhere and was like, hey, do you want to hang out? And I was like, yeah, sure. Cause it was over a year ago. I'm kind of over it. I'm not, holding a grudge against him. And I kind of like to give people the benefit of the doubt. And then he was like, I've been feeling really down and depressed because my girlfriend just broke up with me. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Da, da, da.
yeah, we can hang out if you want. I'll let you know when I'm free. And then he was like, well, I want to fuck. And I was like, oh, okay. We'll see. I don't know. Because I don't really want to date seriously right now. I mean, if somebody comes along and they're just like, oh my God, I have to have you, then great. But kind of just want to keep it casual right now. But and just get to know people. So we get together, we talk, we like reconnect. He apologizes for everything that happened. He said he was a total asshole. He explains what he's been going through and this rough time. We hook up, and then he's like, hey, I want to hang out again. Or like, if you want to hang out again, I'll be here, da da da. I'm like, yeah, you too. Well, now he's been ignoring me, and it's been driving me crazy. Like, he'll open up my messages with read receipts, and sorry, I can't talk, but like, he'll open stuff like snaps and messages, and it'll show, and he won't answer, or he'll just be like, okay, whatever. And I'm just really confused, and I want to spend time with this person. I thought we had a good time. So I just want to know what you think about this, because I want to, some sort of relationship with him. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Wait, that was a total 180.
How
did that end up with, I want a relationship with this person?
I don't know.
Fucking fuckboys, get out of here,
girl. You've met your first fuckboy.
Yeah.
And this is a classic fuckboy. You think he was a fuckboy the first time because he was being an asshole? No, this is a fuckboy.
Yeah.
A fuckboy is a guy who was formerly an asshole who then makes you be like, oh no, he's nice now. He's not a dick.
Went through things. Also, I'm so sorry. Also, let's like hang out next. Do I come over and smoke?
Oh my God. Are you up? Like, you awake, girl?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Saw this and thought of you, but please don't text me repeatedly. You're being crazy.
Everyone out there, these are some of the things. If you hear them, just fuckboy material. Do you want to come over and smoke? Do you want to come over and watch Netflix? Mm-hmm. Do you want to hang out?
Yeah.
It's a huge, I mean, like,
what are you doing?
That could be innocent, but usually not.
Yeah, want to hang?
Yeah.
What are you up to?
I just broke up with my girlfriend.
Yeah. I'm sad.
I'm sad is a big one.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You're fun and cool.
Yeah.
I've heard that twice.
Why are you single?
Yeah, why are you single? How's a girl like you single? Because guys like you exist and you fuck with our minds.
Yeah.
But he told you what he wanted from the get-go.
I will respect him only on that regard. Like, it wasn't like he was like, you're so great, I want to hang out and be with you. Like, he's like, no, I want to fuck. So he told you what he wanted, and you're putting too much into it at this point.
Yeah. He said exactly that. Like, I am a big believer in most people. Like, some guys will just like fuck around, but a lot of the time, people in general will say what their intentions are.
Yeah.
And then you will take that really clear, exact statement, and then you'll take all these like nuanced, like small, like hints and subtle clues to be like, but no, I think it means this. And it's like, no. He said he wanted to fuck, and then he was nice to you. Great. People you have sex with, even casually, should still be nice to you. He apologized. Great. He should have apologized because he was a dick. At the end of the day, he still wants to just fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, none of this was him leading up to wanting a relationship at all.
Yeah.
He said what he wanted, and I think like there was a part of you that like, as much as he was a dick before, like he was a dick, but it also probably hurt. It also probably made you feel sad, and this was probably that validating feeling of being like, oh, he's back. Like, look who came back and like wants to get it again. And then you probably were reminded of the fact that like, oh, you know what? Like, I got over this, but like I had to get over it because I really did have feelings for you and I liked you. And then you hook up again, and you're right back to that. And like,
and I do think it's dangerous. I mean, I don't want this to be the case because I feel like I've just experienced it myself. Like, people might hit you up, or like sometimes you're an easy target. Like, sometimes they'll know that you are nice, or that like you, I don't know what the word is. Like, sometimes sometimes people let people in too easily, and people can take advantage of that. Yeah. You know, and I'm not saying this is maybe, I hope that's not the case, but just be more guarded, I think, is the way to go about it. And like, not to say that you have to be callous. Like, I feel like I feel the best when I'm all callous and hardened, but and I'm getting back to that, which I'm like really happy about.
It's a good time.
But I know. But I do think that in his case, he knows that you have a soft spot for him, and he's taking advantage of that. In this case in particular, I think he like, and especially if he leaves you on red or whatever, like, he doesn't care about your feelings.
Yeah, that's intentional. Like, that's not like, I don't have read receipts on because I don't want to do that to people in general. Same. Like, there is a sense of like not giving a shit, that when someone acts like they don't give a shit and it seems like they don't give a shit, it's because they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's, you have to go out of your way to not give a shit about other people. Yeah. Like, and he's not caring about your feelings, and it's not like, that's not necessarily the easy route. It's not like he has to choose to care about you in the other way. Like, you choose either or. You choose either to care about somebody or you choose to not to, but like, there isn't a neutral ground. And so I think like you need to understand that like, if he did have feelings for you, you wouldn't be in the situation. Exactly. And like, at the end of the day, like, this isn't something that like he needs to get through his head or he needs to figure out. Like, he's already chosen and figured out. And that's what you're getting now. You're getting the guy who's not into you in the same way that you're into him. And like, he's giving that to you. And as much as like everything else felt like loose ends being tied up and like was leading to like something bigger and better and greater, it's not. And like, you have to take some people for face value at the end of the day. It's like, even if he said something or it made you feel like, well, to me, it seemed like there would be a hope. It's like, well, he said he wanted to fuck. You guys hooked up. And then everything else, like, he could, and even if he didn't say he just wanted to fuck, even if he said he wanted to be your boyfriend, you have to take these actions. Like,
actions over words, always. I mean, in this case, words over everything. Yeah, but I mean, it's also, all of these are so related because all the questions anyway seem related, because this is also like a case of getting attached. Like, and I can totally understand like the Aries in me. Sorry to bring this up, but like when someone doesn't reciprocate, I get obsessed. Like, like it's not natural. Like if someone doesn't text me back, I get even more interested, which is so stupid because that's just like it's just, I don't like getting rejected to the point where I'm just like, you have to want me.
Oh yeah, and then you end up to the point where like, I don't even want you. Exactly. I just needed you to want. That's
the minute they text me back, I'm like, ew.
Yeah. Oh my God. I pined after someone for years and finally we went out and I was like, wow, I don't like you, but I really just needed you to like me.
Exactly.
Like, holy shit. Yeah.
But in this case, just, I think it's a little bit of that where it's like, it's just, you want what you can't have in a way. Yeah. And it makes it even amplified when like, I don't know, you felt something for someone or whatever, but for him, fucking and feelings are not related.
Yeah.
And I think for you, they might be.
And I think it can also be like a sense of like, you knew this guy was an asshole and like, you were done with him and all of that stuff. And like, you got played and that's okay. Like, and there can be somewhat of a pride in that of being like, fucking shit, like this happened again. Like I got in this place. And so then you want it to not be that situation. So you really want to push him to not do that again and make him be this other guy. But at the end of the day, like you're not dumb for having gone into the situation, like anything like that. Like we all react towards our like feelings and how you feel towards someone, like hooking up with all of that stuff, like whatever happens. But at the end of it, like, this was his goal and this was his intention, and like you need to be okay with that now, even if it's something that you're like, fuck, I wish I hadn't have like I wish I didn't do that, like I wish I didn't.
Learning
like,
experiences, it's all a fucking experience.
You can't make someone be someone that they don't want to be, and even if like they said that they wanted to be that, his actions aren't matching it, and that's like not that. And I've totally been in that place where some guys been like, oh no, I really, really want to date you. And you're like, okay, you're saying that, but like nothing that we're doing, it's like, you're still hooking up with other people. Like this is like, okay. And like you stick around. And then once you get older or like when you start dating other people and you realize like, oh wow, I don't have to ask you to like stop sleeping around. Like there are certain things that like when two people care about each other the same amount and are on the same page, like that stuff happens naturally and you don't really have to like pull it out of somebody or like force it to happen in any way like that. And I think it's hard especially when I was younger, I didn't think of that and I didn't know that. And it wasn't until I got older and got in more mature relationships that I was like, oh, this isn't as hard as I thought that it was when I was younger. Like it's not as much of like let me settle for what you'll give me and hope that you'll give me more and all of that. So it's just classic case of a fuckboy.
Classic. It's just sucks that, I mean, I honestly, I don't mind that women meet fuckboys so they can learn from it and know the signs. Yeah. You know, like they're all out there and the minute you meet one, you've met them all.
And it's hard because like it's the same thing, like the way that she was addressing like how he was in the past. And like that's a classic fuckboy. Like a fuckboy is not some guy that you meet the first time, you're like, oh, you suck. No, a fuckboy, you don't know a fuckboy sucks until he fucks you over, and then you're like, oh my God. And he's a boomerang. He comes right back around.
The signs were there. And he's gonna try to come again.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I have someone on my phone, there's just like gray, like it's just like him. And I get so, I mean, what's the word? Aroused, not sexually, but I get so excited. Just the thought that he's like still watching my stories and like wanting a response from me. And I'm just like, I'm repulsed by you.
Yeah.
And there's so much power in not responding that I recommend that. And just look at it. I mean, honestly, when you don't respond to him, he's going to want you more. And when that happens, your duty is to ignore and put the power back with you. That's when you have the power. That's when you feel the best. Like, you will feel so good when you reclaim that power and be like, I don't need to respond to you. You're nothing to me. Even if you want me back or want to fuck me again because I'm fucking awesome. You're nothing.
Yeah. And also know that like as much as it sucks, like you're definitely not the only girl he's doing this to.
Well, yeah. 100%.
And so like this like feeling that you have of like the wrong time, right time, wrong time, like wrong place. Like I can promise you there's a handful of girls who've had the same conversation with their friends about him. Like that's just like, this isn't a you. When a guy's treating a girl like this, like he's got a bench of girls he's treating like this. And he's not worth any of your time.
No.
Say goodbye. Say boy bye.
Bye. I want to bring up something that's like semi-related, but I've been thinking about it for so much. Have you seen Fleabag?
No, but Melissa has.
Okay.
Only the first season though. I haven't watched the second season yet.
I am obsessed with Fleabag. I highly recommend everybody, man, woman, anything, just watch this show. It's so good. The script is phenomenal. I wish I had any part in making this show, but there's a line in the second season. This woman is talking to the main character and she says, women are built with pain and men seek it out. And she goes into this whole thing where like men, I mean, you can take it literally, where like men are more violent, they cause war, they're more aggressive politicians or whatever, and then women are built with this pain, whether it's with your periods or childbirth or like this pain that's just like overwhelming, like emotional pain, and men seek it out to the point where it's like they don't have it naturally, so they like impose it on you. And I think I think about it, and I just think about that line so much recently, and I think even emotional pain it's true for that too, because like I come into any relationship and I already have a little bit of pain. You know, it's like built in. And you have to rewire your brain a little bit to like just have a little like the same, just try to be as detached as a man. Because it's that detachment can be powerful.
The next call is from a Don't Blame Me legend.
Oh, wait.
Is it someone you know? What does that mean?
Just know it's from a Don't Blame Me legend. You both will know when I play it.
Oh no.
She says who she is.
Is it the girl who?
I'm 23. You might know me as the girl who dated 3 brothers from previous episodes. So I have a new dilemma. I just started seeing someone about 3 months ago, and my girlfriend is actually on Tinder tonight. And she screenshot my current boyfriend's profile and sent it my way. My question is, do I confront him about it? What do I do? I don't know how to handle this. I'm only asking because clearly I don't know how to handle other situations and deal with things. So hopefully you can help me out. I don't know if it's an old profile or new, but I was Googling it, and Tinder profiles stay active, or will have the most active profiles always popping up in the stack, apparently. So, yeah, that's where I'm at, and I don't know what to do. So if you could help me out, that would be great.
Welcome back, girl.
Damn, she's living.
She is a legend.
She's been living life.
Oh, God.
I need to catch up, do some fucking fun things. Well, yeah. I mean, just talk to your boyfriend, right?
Yeah, I think like you need to I think before you talk to him, because like there's a logical explanation for it. I've had people who have like seen like months into dating my boyfriend, like people had seen, I got like a screenshot of someone who like had seen my dating app profile, and I deleted the app from my phone, but I didn't deactivate the account. But at the same time, that's also a really good line. I downloaded a dating app and the minute I started scrolling through, I saw 2 people that I knew who I knew their significant others. And I didn't say anything. And I do kind of regret that I hadn't like screenshotted and like said something. But like, I think you need to figure out what you think this is first. Because I think like if there's any indication to you that like if you saw this and like you had like a sinking feeling in your stomach, that's probably because like it's because he has a dating app. But if you saw it and you're like, what? That's so fucking weird. Yeah. You wouldn't be like that.
Context matters. Like if there's room or if there is a reason for insecurity or fear, if there's already like red flags in the relationship, then it's probably a sign of that. But if not, there's a logical explanation either way. But I do think just confronting him, but not like just ask him about it. Don't like corner him and be like, why do you have a dating app? Just be like, hey, my friend noticed she was like scrolling and she saw your profile. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Like if we're exclusive, like maybe he has a different idea about the relationship. Yeah. Like maybe it's a communication error, but I don't know. Yeah. I think I didn't know that and now I have to deactivate before I delete.
But I also don't even know. At the same time, it was like a couple months into dating, so it wasn't that long, and also who knows how long the guy that had been there had been like scrolling through. But I think like you just need to figure out like I don't want to say like you need to figure out how you feel about it, because obviously you feel shitty about it, but like there's a difference of being like, does this feel like random and weird, or does this feel like, oh, this gives me the really like familiar shitty feeling, or like is this like are things clicking, like is it in that kind of way? Because I think like
that's so true, you're so right.
And then from there it's like, what, like I don't want to say like what do you want the response to be, but like like what do you want the response to be? Like if he says no, are you gonna believe him? Like at what point does it matter whatever his reason and excuse is? Because like at the end of the day, someone can have like the world's greatest excuse or greatest reason, but that doesn't necessarily change how you feel. And like, if you still feel shitty about it, and even if like it checks out everything he says, but like there were seeds planted before, and like things that he had done that made you feel insecure and made you feel like that this wasn't like a super great relationship, and this kind of solidified all of that, then like no matter what he says, it doesn't change how you feel.
Yeah. If trust is broken, it can very rarely be repaired if you don't both work at it. Yeah. So I think if you don't trust this person, that's just telling of the nature of the relationship, and that's more of a red flag than anything else.
Yeah. But I think also like if he, like you said, I think that there could also be just a chance of miscommunication. And I think like I don't know how high the likelihood is that he's like, oh yeah, I still had this. I didn't know if we were like exclusive or whatever, or anything like that. I think like then that's a time to like really have a conversation about what you want out of this relationship, because I think a lot of the time, like women in general, as much as it sucks, like we kind of take cues from what the guys want. So it's like, oh, what are you looking for? You're like, oh, I don't know. But like you tell your girlfriends like, oh, I want a boyfriend. But like with him, you're like, oh, I don't like, I'm just like up for anything. He's like, yeah, I want something casual. You're like, oh my God, perfect. Like me too. And like you'll take what you can kind of get in a situation. But I think it's about figuring out like, is this behavior the kind of thing that you want, like, and if this is like, if the talk is exclusivity, and I also would say like, don't feel, if he says that, like, don't feel stupid for assuming that you guys were exclusive, because I think like it's also a really like confusing thing
unless you explicitly say like, are we dating other people?
Exactly. Like it just becomes weird. And like when you start like, and also if you have a full-time job and like you're hanging out with him a lot, you're like, well, how does he have more time to hang out with other people? Like it just becomes like, well, logically it wouldn't really happen. And then I think like you need to then from there figure out like, if you want to be exclusive, if that's not the answer that if he doesn't want to be exclusive, like feel like empowered and okay to be like, well, that's not what I want. Like I'm gonna walk away and be done with it. Like it doesn't make you like needy or demanding or anything like that. to like, you know, ask for what you want. And then if you don't get it, like you don't have to take that. You don't have to settle for that because someone else is you're going to be just as into somebody else, if not more. And then they're going to want the same things that you do. Well, good luck with your life. Please keep us updated. I'd love to know. Yeah, you are literally the living legend of this podcast.
She's like, you might know me.
Of course we know you. She's a hero. The true American hero. No, she's Canadian. A true Canadian
She's Canadian,
hero.
yep.
But they have good memory.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember everything about that call. It's still my favorite. Is it time for Don't Blame Them?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is this call from?
This one is from an episode with you and I, season 3, episode 19. And it was a girl, the original caller, her friend is now dating a guy that she used to hook up with.
Okay.
Ooh.
And so this is someone calling with similar experience.
I would fucking cut someone. I would literally just... Also, my friends think all of my exes are like repulsive. Like, fuck no.
Hi, Megan. I am actually calling back as advice for the girl that her closest friend, is now dating the guy that she used to hook up with. I was in the same exact situation about a year ago, and I was dating the guy on and off for about 6 years, and this girl, which was my closest friend at the time, knew absolutely everything that went wrong because he did me dirty many, many times. I was just too blind to see it. And she is now dating him, and they've started dating about 2 months after we broke up. So I definitely know and understand what she's going through. And it really sucks, but eventually you're going to get over it. I mean, at least they don't live down the street from you like they do. So she's going to be fine. Everything's going to be great. I mean, move on. You'll be fine. You know, it's going to be great. And, you know, it's hard to understand some things and understand why they did it. And I know that was a big factor for me when I was, you know, going through it. It was a big factor of trying to figure out why, and it was a lot of crying and trying to just not want to do the texting them and asking it for that reason, because sometimes you don't need a reason to know that a shitty person is a shitty person, and they're just not good people to be around. So in a way, it's kind of like, thank goodness that these people were removed from my life. But I mean, everything is better now. I'm graduating college. Everything is good. But advice to that girl, you're going to be fine. Their marriage, you know, wish them well. That's all you can do. Let them be. You focus on yourself and be the best person that you can be. And sorry if the message is all scattered, but yeah. Bye, Megan.
Wow. What a woman.
Honestly.
I would have just gone rage. You have to be a strong person to go through something like that and be like, let them be. And so, yeah, build up that strength and become that person.
No, I think my therapist, because I'm a big fan of revenge, and like I like when people hurt me, I want them to feel how I felt, and I want to witness it and see all of that. And like the thing that she always tells me, and she's like, people who like cause and wreak havoc to other people's lives, like that comes back at them like all the time. And like, you don't have to do anything because like when you put that out into the universe, like that comes straight back to you. And I was like, yes, but I understand karma, but like, I want to be there when it happens. And she's like, you have to like, you can't want that at all. And also like the biggest like payback or whatever, so much of that is like internal, and people who like can cause that kind of like dramatic like just mean, terrible stuff to people, like then the pain that they face is not necessarily ever public, because like then they deal with that all internally.
I think it's interesting. I'm not so much into revenge like you, but I think it's a little unhealthy because it's not always the best route. But like having someone that fucked you over or hurt you see you thrive.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same mentality, not really, of like working out after a breakup or whatever, but they're not the reason that you're thriving, but like seeing
it's a motivation.
It's a motivation just to like to have that like completely shut yourself off from them, but also if they ever look at you or like see you around, you're fucking great. You're fine without them, you know? And so I'm not saying they should be your motivation behind it, but for me, that's the best revenge.
I think that is.
It's not directly like I'm going to hurt them. Like I'm going to, I don't know. I'm not saying that this is what you would do.
But it's true. Like that idea that like the best revenge is like just doing your own thing and like being really like succeeding and doing really great at it. And then when you look back, like it's at least for me, when there are people that like whether it's like guys who like fucked me over or like anything like that who I really like liked and care about. Now when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, like I cared so much about this dude. And then even if you use them as the motivation to like, I'm gonna crush it and do so great. And then by the time that you like realize, like you thought that you were doing it to kind of spite them, and then the time they come back around and you realize you're like, oh wow, I've like elevated so much above you. Like I don't give a shit about you at all.
100%. And I think
thank you for like helping me get to this place.
They can be the seed of that start of the motivation. They can be the seed of like making you go to the gym or making you work harder or have better work ethic or whatever it is that makes you feel good. But then it becomes something different. Like as long as they don't remain that sole motivator, you're fine. I think the seat, like if they can inspire you to be a better person, they've done their fucking duty and they're good. You've used them, you know, they're disposable now.
Yeah.
You know,
God, so strong.
Yeah.
So that's it for our episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Shereen, plug your podcast. Plug your shit.
Yeah, I have a podcast called Ethnically Ambiguous. You can find it everywhere you find your podcast. We talk about being marginalized people of color or being Middle Eastern, and we also have guests on that are people of color. Melissa was on our podcast. It was really fun. It's everywhere. I mean, you can follow us at Ethnically Amb, AMB on Twitter, Ethnically Ambig, AMBIG on Instagram. Literally anywhere you find podcasts, we're there. I'm a filmmaker. You can watch my things on my website, ShereenLani.com. You can follow me at Shiro Hero on Instagram and Shiro Hero 666 on Twitter.
Because she's Satan.
She is Satan.
Yeah. So thanks for having me back.
Oh my God.
This was so fun.
Well, now you have more homework for the next time you come back.
Oh, right.
Melissa's going to write it up.
But I will say I have been doing it more by myself, and it is enjoyable. I haven't reached the apex, and I don't think it's impossible.
No, I don't think it is.
But it just takes time.
Do you like massages?
I love massages.
What if you got a massage before? Do you think that would help?
And I think you should get really
high.
What
really fucks me up is that the person I was hung up on the most
was a masseuse.
We used to give massages to each other. We were like, he was amazing.
Oh, that's so nice.
And
Mom's doing massage for like 2 seconds. Like,
he was
my hands hurt.
Yeah.
No, I miss that aspect of the physical relationship so much.
Yeah.
It's like
I would miss that fucking too.
You should get one of those ones that they come to your house.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But what if I don't want them to touch me? That's my thing. Like sometimes I don't want everyone to touch me.
I'm just saying, just like to loosen you up.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think I need to let go. And I think you're completely right.
Like, have a whole day of like getting like just the most relaxed you can fucking be.
Okay. But I mean, the point is, I will still do my homework, and hopefully, I mean, not hopefully, it'll happen when it happens.
It'll happen,
yeah. There's no I don't want to put any like next time it'll happen because that'll just make me even more scared.
Just try the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CBD.
Yeah.
All that stuff. It'll be a good time.
I appreciate this.
We're here for you.
Yeah, why go to therapy when you have when you can just let it all
support
out?
Group here.
Yeah, I've returned.
It's like group therapy.
Come.
That's true.
You've returned. You've not come.
Yeah, I love that.
This is nice. The group therapy.
It is fun.
This podcast fucking rules.
Oh my God, we have a good time here.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to call and be in an upcoming episode, you can leave us a phone number. Fucking titty shits. You can leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976.
Yep.
Yeah. And if you're an international caller, you can leave us an audio message at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram, Don't Blame Meme Pod. Oh my God, hit up our fucking Patreon.
Yeah.
It is, oh my God, I almost said lit. Wow, kill me. It is great. It is fucking great. So much content. It is so much fun. So much bonus stuff, so much extra stuff. Hit that up. And we will see you guys next time. Goodbye. Whatever struggles you're facing, from depression and anxiety to trauma and grief, Betterhelp can connect you with a professional counselor in a safe and private online environment. It's so convenient. You can schedule secure video or phone sessions, as well as chat and text with your therapist. And anything you share is completely confidential. Best of all, it is a truly affordable option. Don't Blame Me with Meghan Rienks listeners even get 10% off your first month with the discount code BLAME. So why not get started? Simply go to betterhelp.com/blame and fill out a questionnaire and get matched with your counselor that you'll love today. Don't Blame Me is a production by me. Executive produced by Melissa DeMonts. Camera operator Amanda Lechner. Production assistance by Julie Carley. And music by Ryan Hunter and Giacomo Picasso, part of the HerPod Network.